Hello, everyone out there in Facebook world and podcast world. Hope you're having a wonderful day. You were listening to or watching the Service Business Mastery Podcast. I'm your host, Tersh Blissett. If you've been watching closely, you may have noticed that we've had a new co-host on the show, and we haven't formally introduced him and given like a background on who he is, where he came from, what he's doing, that type of stuff. So we thought today would be a great day to actually share that information with you and actually give a little background on Josh and officially welcome him to the show. With that being said, welcome to the show, Josh.
Thanks, Tersh. I appreciate that. It's good to be here, and it's been fun so far. So I'm still here after three or 4 weeks. So that's a good sign.
That is a good sign. Tell everybody who doesn't know your background, haven't heard of you before, a little bit about yourself and what you've got going on.
Yeah, so I guess the background that would be relevant would be pretty much my life after I got into HVAC. So March 2013, I got into the HVAC industry totally by accident. Actually was at one point in my life, I thought accounting was going to be my future because I've always liked statistics and analysis, all that kind of stuff. So I joined this company. I was looking for an accountant. They had no processes in place whatsoever. Their office manager quit like 3 months into me starting, and I was the only one left at the office outside of the owners. So I quickly started taking over a bunch of stuff I had no idea about. Our CRM was a DOS-based program, which if anyone is in a millennial, you might not even know what that is anymore. A DOS-based program, you only could use the keyboard. The mouse did nothing. And nobody knew how to use it. There was no manual. It was a total shit show. We had spreadsheet monsters upon spreadsheet monsters. That first winter that I started, because the owner and his wife was a general manager, was very burnt out from the business because they had some issues earlier to me jumping on board, was the coldest winter in Wisconsin in the last 30 years.
Wow.
I didn't have enough people. We had a customer list dating back, like 30 years of 30,000 people. We got hammered. It was insane. There was times in the day, I did hire a CSR by that point, but we would shut the phone off at noon and try to get back to the 50 voicemails that we had piled up from the calls we couldn't answer, and do the same thing at the end of the day.
Oh, wow.
It was just a total mess. I would not wish that on anybody. And but the good news is I saw the potential. I worked through the issues, learned a lot. Like they say, if once you get thrown into the fire, you just have to react and you have to figure stuff out. That was probably the best learning experience I could get because it was very quick, and kind of got me to where I'm at today. But along the way, I've opened a branch for a company, grew that to about $1 million in sales in the first year. I've been a territory sales manager, which actually helped me get that branch management position and the position at the last company I worked with. So made some really nice connections for me. So I pretty much spent the last, 8-9 years in the HVAC industry, helping grow businesses, always kind of as like the right hand person, but with an owner's mentality. For those that do know me and talk to me, I can't fix shit. So my wife, who listens to this, she is always the first person. I can just see her, even though she's not here today, nodding in the background and say, yeah, he can't fix anything. So that was always the drawback and why I did not start my own HVAC business, is because I guess for me, that was always kind of a weak spot. Like if somebody that could tell me they were really good at something, I can't verify they're not good at it. So I'm much better on the business, the operations, sales, marketing side. And about 1.5 years ago, I started Relentless Digital, and which is essentially a marketing company for the trades. That's all we specialize in. We're not going to specialize in anything else, just because I've hired marketing companies over the years. I've talked to a bunch. I've talked to a ton of owners, just like I'm sure you have with what you got going on, Tersh.
Mm-hmm.
extreme lack of good marketing companies out there. So that's the focus, is to take care of contractors, not lead them astray, and make sure that they get the results and for what they're paying.
Yeah, I like that, because it is, even somebody with the best of intentions. If you get to where you're doing too much in the field, you spread yourself too thin, it's really easy for people to get left behind and really not catch everything that you should be catching whenever it comes to servicing your clients the best that you possibly can. And when you got into doing the marketing side of things, is that like, run me through that process a little bit? Because so often we see like these people that are in our Facebook feeds that are just like, we can get you all these leads, and we've never even heard of these guys before, and they're like, it's almost like a joke. These people are just popping up, and they're here and then they're gone, and then but you've taken a completely different
Tersh, I can get you 50 leads guaranteed.
And some people don't realize how much of a crock of crap that is, how do you combat that in your industry? Because like, we're having to do it within our industry as in the HVAC.
Well, my problem with, it's not so much that anyone's marketing, right? I mean, as an HVAC company, we market to people. We've done Facebook ads ourselves and everything. You try to get in front of people and get that lead. But my problem is these guarantees of the number of leads. Well, what is a lead? A lead to a marketing company is generally a contact form. Well, on Facebook, that person's not looking for you, generally speaking. So that lead is somebody's like, oh, cool, financing HVAC system. Yeah, let's just see what that is. They have no intention of buying right now. And what happens is this cycle of you have to continually follow up. You have to have really, really good systems, preferably automated systems, to stay in touch with somebody and nurture that relationship. The problem is a lot of HVAC contractors don't know that. And they don't know that's, just because somebody can get you 50 leads, well, you may book 10 appointments. And if you have a 50% closing rate, which is high in replacement sales, you're going to get 5 out of those 50. And that's if they can get approved for financing, because generally speaking, the ads on Facebook are about financing or 0% or monthly payment. That means the people that are drawn to that are the people that can't afford it themselves. So then you have to deal with credit denials and trying to figure out a second look or a third look. Don't get me wrong, it can work in certain markets.
Yeah.
It's just overall, it's one of those things. You're going to be doing a lot more work than you thought. It's not just like, well, this person's going to set my ads and run. You're going to be doing a lot of work chasing these people down.
It always seems like it's something that is kind of set it and forget it. And like, as soon as I pay for this, then all of a sudden I'm good to go. I don't have to worry about this anymore. It's now I'm just going to have leads kind of knocking my door down, even like a home advisor and stuff like that. And that's not the case.
No, nobody cares about what we do except for us. So I mean,
yeah. What, you don't go about things the same way as others. Can you share what the things that you kind of don't do and why you don't do them? Like, I know just from talking to you, like there's print and stuff like that you kind of stayed away from. Can you share why that is that you've decided that?
Yeah. So honestly, I kind of, just like everything I've done in my HVAC career, I've stumbled into the next thing, right? I guess, if just a side note, if one piece of advice for anyone listening to this, don't be afraid to ever ask questions. That is like the biggest thing I see. People are so afraid to ask questions, or they don't know. And part of the reason I named my company Relentless Digital is that is literally my mentality and philosophy on stuff. If I don't get the answer from this person, I'm going to go find somebody else that's going to give me the answer, so I can get the goal that I set out to accomplish done. And I just attack it relentlessly, and I don't stop. Kind of annoying that way, but it's worked out, and the name just kind of fit. But yeah, as far as my philosophy on marketing, like I said, I've hired marketing companies. I've seen the work that's been done, and don't get me wrong, there's good companies out there, and we know of a few that are really good, people that we've met between you and I. But the reason I like the organic side of marketing is you don't always have to flip that switch for paid ads. Your business can continue to grow, and it may be a little bit slower than some people want to, but when you get that organic side dialed in, it is money, and you will stay busy year round, and you will consistently get leads. You will consistently fill up your schedule, and then you have options to, plus the fact that you don't have to spend thousands of dollars a month on ads. Now, if you want to become a $10 million company in the next 2 years, you're going to have to spend a lot of money if you're at $1 million now.
Right.
If you're okay growing 30, 50, 70% a year, you can definitely get by doing that organically, which allows you to also put systems in place so that your company doesn't break when you get to $10 million. I know that everybody knows the stories of the guys who rocketed to 20, 30, $40 million a year. They're unicorns.
Mm-hmm.
So they're unicorns.
Right.
Stop chasing the unicorn, because I'm telling you that just because everything seems great out in the social media world, they're dealing with their own problems too. So just focus on you, focus on what you can control, and stay in front of your existing customers. I think that's actually the podcast we did when I wasn't a co-host for you, was staying in front of your existing customers. They're so important. Like, the worst thing you could do is get someone to buy something from you and never say, hey, again. You never talk to them again. Oh, thanks. Moving on to the next guy. I mean, if that's the type of business you want to be, you're probably not going to gain a lot of loyalty. But if you really want to grow, you want to get that organic, that local presence, and be the company in your market, that's the way you do it. You got to stay in front of your customers.
So are you not doing any PPC at all, or just not right now, or what's your thoughts on that?
We are, for a few select companies, we are. We're testing it. It's just one of those things that I want to make sure that our service is really, really good, and we have processes in place before I say, hey, we're doing this. Just because it's newer to me. I hired someone to help me with that, as far as running the ads and tweaking the campaigns and stuff. But it's definitely it's a growth vehicle, and it can definitely grow your company. Your ROI on it is not nearly going to be as good as it is on organic or SEO or email marketing or even direct mailers to your existing customers. Your ROI is not going to be as good, but it can get you where you want faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that I've struggled with in the past, because it's like click on it and it's gone. It's you spend that money and then that it's gone. If you didn't capture that customer on that click, then that's just kind of wasted money. And so it's one of those things that I've had to wrap my head around a lot, as far as, is it worth doing this, or should I really focus a lot more on SEO and, getting that evergreen content, that content that's going to be there forever. Every single year, it just wraps back around and it's beneficial. What's your thoughts on video as far as evergreen? Video is great. We all know that it's great. There's some people who love it. There's some people who hate it. Should we be putting just YouTube videos out there, or should we be embedding stuff into our website? And if we should embed, should we transcribe it? What's your thoughts there?
That's a great question, actually. So I love video, and I do have a YouTube channel. My kids are even amazed that I got 75 subscribers, so I'm pretty popular in the house right now. But I do everything I do on there is educational. Now I know Tersh, but there is Greg Fox has done a great job of this in California, and there's a plumber, and I can't think of his name. Shoot, do you remember the plumber? He's got a huge following.
He's got a massive.
I can't remember his name though.
I'm drawing a
blank.
blank.
And he does stuff for both these guys do stuff for technicians. They do stuff for their audience. And they just do stuff that's entertaining. But what they've done is they take video content, embed it on their website, also turned into a blog post, and they're getting I've done some research on their companies and their websites and stuff, and they're getting massive amounts of traffic, and Google rates their sites really highly because they're giving good, valuable information. And it's a lot easier to make a video about a topic than to sit down and try to write it in perfect English and make it entertaining so somebody actually reads it, because video is a lot easier to digest for most people. I mean, I know of a plumbing company in Oklahoma City that is doing really well, making like TikTok videos and Instagram reels and YouTube shorts and stuff like that. And all they're doing is they're answering one question in a video. It'd be like a plumbing question: what to do when your ring falls down the drain, or what if your toilet's clogged? Just basic stuff like that, stuff that most of their technicians can actually answer.
Yeah.
But what they're actually doing that's really interesting is they're rotating through their technicians, and they're actually having their technicians be the hero of the video.
Oh yeah.
Which is interesting because it empowers your people. Mm-hmm. Can also bring that culture, and then now you get your people starting to think about, oh, this would be a great video, and they start coming up with ideas while they're on site or whatever. Obviously, it still needs to be run through you or the owner of the company, but you get them empowered to the point where they're starting to create content for you. And now all of a sudden your marketing just becomes an engine that doesn't stop. But I love video. I think the videos I love the most. I was doing a website for a garage door company, and this guy, he took a time-lapse video of him working or installing a garage door. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even know we had this video. My wife put this together and helped him put on the site. I was looking through his site, just kind of doing some fine tuning, and I stopped and watched the whole thing. I'm like, well, this is really interesting. And I was thinking about that for HVAC, like AC cleanings, where you're taking everything apart and you're using the foam spray and the cleaner and everything. It's just people don't know what you guys do. So videos like that, or videos what you guys do during an install, really interesting stuff. You may not think it's interesting because you and your guys do it every day, but homeowners are like, wow, this is cool. Yeah. Like, I have no idea they do all this stuff. I had no idea that all these different things were, what does it look like when the furnace isn't there or the air handler's not there?
I feel like it's also an accountability thing too. So if we put out a video saying, hey, look, we pull these units apart and we clean them, and this is how we clean them and everything else, and then our technician goes out there, or a technician from a different company goes out there and doesn't do nearly that much work, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, you're supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z, and like, how you know that? Well, it shows it on this video right here.
Well, and think about that. So I know you have Service Titan. I used to use Service Titan. Think about your dispatch videos that you can send out to people based on the job type. You can send out a video, say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Here's a little time lapse video of what it's going to look like when when we're done. That video can be embedded on YouTube. Yeah. And again, you're getting more people to your YouTube channel, or you can even better embed the YouTube video on your website, direct people to your website, so Google constantly sees people going to your website. But there's so much you can do, and I get it. This is overwhelming. Like, this is a lot of information for people, but the biggest thing is to start making videos. Yeah. Especially if you're a technician turned owner, or you're a general manager or something, go out and make a video. Make a video at your house. Nobody around. Talk about your air conditioner. Talk about some tips that people might want to know, or some common questions. Just see how it goes. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is you delete it.
Yeah, they're going to be awkward, and that's okay. Go back and listen to some of like the first episodes of this podcast. Yeah, it was hell. And it is what it is. you progress and you move along, and or you don't progress and you sound the same. Either way, maybe you just come out, guns blazing, and you're just amazing right off the start. So, but you'll never know until you start. You try, and you may find that you really enjoy the editing portion of it, and it may just be like a new like little niche or thing that you do for fun on the weekends, type thing.
Are you talking about yourself right now?
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy it sometimes, but I have to be in the mood sometimes to, I like it. And then other times it's just the bane of my existence. I just know I need to do it. With the embedding on your YouTube, I mean, with embedding on your website, do you feel like we need to write out a blog post, or can we simply transcribe it? I know you and I have had this conversation before. And it seems like, Alexa and asking questions and conversations, just adding a transcription would be a good idea. But should we also create a blog post that is more in depth?
I think if you are, if you get to the point where you're actually starting to organize your videos so you stay on like a couple key points, I think you can transcribe it. Now, if you're just rambling, don't transcribe it and put it on there. Keep it, turn it into something a little nicer.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, usually when you start, this is the whole point of starting video. You're going to start, it's going to suck, but then you slowly get better, and and all of a sudden you become, okay, I got a couple topic points I want to talk about. You stay on point, and it's a 3 to 5 minute video, and it's really good.
Yeah.
And then you can transcribe that, maybe clean it up a little bit, clean up the ums and the ahs and some of the other stuff that gets, in normal speech, clean that stuff up. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a reason where you have to take that and totally rewrite it into some other blog post, because of the way people speak, especially if you ask a question and answer that question in a video, the way people ask it on Google, or the way they're going to ask Alexa or Amazon or Google Assistant or whatever device you have. Because eventually Google's got AI technology where they're trying to understand the human language and connect dots between searching for AC repair in a city to how do I know my AC is broken, and also giving them solutions for a service provider. So the technology's there. They're spending a lot of money on it. And you can bet if anything we learned from Google over the last 20 years, they're going to figure it out. And eventually search is going to totally be different than what it is today.
Yeah, I agree with you. And if you're already practicing now, you're ahead of the curve, and you don't have to worry about being somebody who after the fact is like, oh crap, how do I figure out this voice search thing? So cool, bud. Is there anything else I forgot to mention or ask here before we wrap things up?
No, the only thing I wanted to mention is, so people that don't know, Tersh and I have known each other for quite a few years now. And we've just always kind of been a person that just myself personally have gravitated towards. We've always had good conversations through social media, and then that kind of delved into a coaching group in person and all that kind of stuff. And we've just kept in touch. And, pretty much the reason for me being here is Tersh has got like a million things going on during the day, literally like more businesses, and his social calendar is probably more filled than anyone I know. But he needs some help with the marketing stuff and some of the back end stuff that was probably a little more tedious and more up my alley as far as doing some stuff. So it's kind of why I'm here. And if nothing else, I can hopefully provide some insight to owners, managers, technicians that I've seen through my time, and can kind of give back to the industries a little bit. And hopefully make Tersh's life just a little easier on Wednesdays.
Oh yeah, you already have, for sure. And it's been great too, because in some of the past interviews, you've brought up questions that I didn't even think to bring up that were really pertaining to the marketing side of things. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a great point, and I really never would have even thought about it that way. So yeah, you're definitely already an added value to the show for sure. But if anybody ever has any questions for Josh, you can reach out to him. You can reach out to me. We try our absolute best to answer as timely as possible. But yeah, Josh will add his contact information to the show notes, and don't hesitate to reach out to any of us. And I guess with that being said, thank you again for watching or listening to another episode of the Service Business Mastery Podcast. This is a podcast focused on service business owners, managers, and technicians who are considering becoming business owners themselves. Until we talk again next time, which will be a couple hours, have a wonderful day. See you.